What's up, y'all? Today I want to talk to y'all about financial literacy because a lot of people that I be knowing be asking me questions about like how I save my money, how I come up, how I was able to, start from zero, and just take off. It's two things that I applied to this. It's two principles. So one is money management. Second is investing. Always investing. So the first thing we're gonna go over is like money management. Like that's the number one key to really coming up. Like what you spend your money on is really gonna be the determining factor. Granted, it is a lot of people that could come up like rappers and stuff where you see them spending money on bags and all of this stuff. But how many rappers do we know versus people that just start their own business and come up versus people that just hustle their way up in other ways? So you got to think money management is really the key. If you make $1,000 a week, you know, you got to allocate some of that money to savings. I would say out of 1,000, you should be try to live off of really like 50% of that money or less and try to save 50%. But if you're just getting started off, out of 1,000, if you could save 200, that'd be good because in 4 weeks, you will have $2, $4, $6, $800 left. So let's say you did this for, let's say like 3 months. So you got 800 saved up each month, you times that by 3. So now you're talking 2,400. So out of that 2,400, now you got to think like, okay, I want to keep a little bit for emergency stash, but me, I'm going to think to always do my number two thing. I'm going to invest. I'm going to first manage my money right, then I'm going to invest. Because if my money is not working for me, then how am I ever going to get my number one asset? And for me, the number one asset is time. Because time is a thing that you cannot get back. So me, I'm going to always focus on managing my money. And don't get this wrong, I'm not the best person at money management. But I just invest so much of my money that it looks like I'm good at money management because I don't, those stuff that I spend my money on. Because if I got $10,000, guaranteed I'm gonna live off of three grand. I'm trying to find something to do with that 7 grand to flip it and have it make me make some more money. Case in point. So like if I go get me a Cadillac truck, I go get me a Benz, I'm going to the lot and I ain't putting no money down because I got A1 credit. So I'm walking in, I'm walking out. I ain't showing them no paperwork. I ain't showing them anything. Credit is a whole nother topic that we could talk about later. But I'm just going into money management and investing. So from a money management aspect, I'm like, okay, if I'm finna spend $800 a month or $900 a month for a car, okay, the first thing I gotta figure out is how in the hell am I finna pay for this? Because me, I'm too cheap to have that come out of my regular payroll money that I pay myself from my trucking business. So that means I gotta go out and I gotta go find another hustle or find something else that's going to pay this for me. Case in point, in St. Louis, for all my people that's from back home, you take a $30,000 or $40,000 property, you get, let's say you put 20% down on it, 20% of what, 30 grand or 30 or 40,000, it's about, let's say you gotta put about, let's say $8,000 down. That's a tax check. So you take that tax check, you put the $8,000 down on this house, right? This house, it might not be in the best neighborhood. It might be in Hamley Hills or somewhere, right? Okay, you can at least, for a 3-bedroom with 1 bath or 2 baths, you can at least get, I say, about $800. $850 is the standard. So you getting $800 back to you. So the note on that probably like $150, $200 a month. So that's $600 right there now. So now that goes back to the Escalade theory or whatever. So if you weren't gonna get you a car, now that's $600 that's coming from the $8,000 that you invested that's gonna either pay your rent or either buy you that car that you want to go get instead of you paying it out of the working money that you working out of. That's how you go broke. Because if you lose that job, then you lose that car. Or if you lose that income, then you lose that car. So you need to have an income stream set up for your vices or liabilities, like shit like cars and shit that you don't really need though. Cause I really don't care about cars like that, but I like them. So I feel like, okay, if I'm gonna do it, I gotta figure out a way that I'm gonna pay for them. So money management is really just not spend, making more than what you're spending. And a lot of us, we spend our money before we even get it. So it'd be hard to come up because you're trying to look good for everybody else that's broke as you. But I took like 4 years off and said, look, I ain't finna do none of this stuff, to where now I don't even know what's really popping. I gotta go to my people and kind of figure out, like, okay, hey, what's in fashion shit? I don't even know. I've been wearing dusty shoes and all of that because I knew that when I get to this level that I'm gonna own my time, and that's gonna be way more important than me looking good for everybody else. So my number one thing for y'all is go in grind mode. Just do a 6-month run. Do a 6-month run where you saving at least 20% of what you got coming in. Just 20%. You ain't got to start off big, just small chunks, and just watch it stack. Watch it stack. Watch it stack. And when you stack it up, don't go buy a TV. Go buy a something else. Go buy a car off Craigslist or something and flip that mug and try to turn that little 1,000 that you got into 1,300. And then you gonna take that 1,300 and you keep flipping it like that. But all along, you still got your job money that you're surviving off of, because it ain't all about jumping out. Because when I came up, I didn't just come up. I was actually at work when I found my plug, to be honest. When I found my plug on the trucking, I was actually at the post office working, and somebody actually walked in there, and I asked them, I'm like, hey, you need a CDL to drive that truck? And he was like, no. And he started to give me the game. But at the time, I had been working 6 days a week, 12 hours a day. I probably had 20 bands stacked up just from working 6-7 days a week at the post office. So it wasn't like this great leap. I found my success doing the best I could where I was at, but I had to stop spending though. I had to stop dishing out everything I had because I was making $1,200 a week. I couldn't keep spending all of that money, to get where I was trying to go. So, and then more into investing. I invest almost, I would say, like I said, it's about 70% of my money. So when people be like, oh man, want to get loans and stuff, I'm like, bro, my money tied up. I'm not finna sit with no $100,000, $200,000, $300,000 in the bank. That just don't make sense to me, because that money can't make me no more money sitting in the bank. I'm finna go buy a building. I'm finna go buy a truck. I'm finna go do something, but I'm finna go put that money to work, because I look at money as like pimping. Like I'm pimping the dollar. I'm not letting the dollar pimp me. I am going to make that money work. I'm going to go put that money to work, because you got to think about inflation. So if you let 100 bands just sit in the bank, over 5 years, what, they're going to give you a percentage, a half a percentage. Some people give you 2%. You got to think rent goes up 6% in most markets every year. So that money is going to deplete if I don't. You're going to go broke trying to be safe. Like, so you gotta invest. That's the way to come up. It ain't really no other way around it. So let's circle back around. Money management, let's make sure that we are saving more than what we are spending. Let's just make sure that, I know it might not be an easy thing to do, but I know hella people that's getting $10,000 on $9,000, $7,000, $8,000 of tax checks. Like, look, you could save $4,000 of that right there. And if you did that over 3 years, that'd just be 12 bands without you even saving nothing else. And then you can go get you one of them cribs that, I don't want to go get the crib, it's beat down and all of that. Like, look, you're going to have to start somewhere, and you're going to have to put in some work, because having money alone is not even going to be the end all be all, because you can have money but not have the know-how. Because if I gave you $100,000 right now and you don't know, you ain't got no idea of what you're gonna do with it, everybody else like, oh yeah, I'll go do some real estate, or I'll go do this or that. Well, if you ain't really got no idea of what you're gonna do with it, you really gonna blow it. You're gonna end up being like loaning so-and-so a little money, doing it. You gotta have a plan. You gotta be intentional about it. And if you're not intentional about it, you're gonna blow it. Trust me, I done ran through tens of thousands of dollars not being intentional of what I'm trying to do. So just make sure that you're intentional with everything that you're doing. Just make sure that you're saving something for that rainy day. So when that rainy day happen, it ain't like, damn, I ain't got nothing. You got to call somebody and borrow something, but yet you out smoking weed, you out, you always at the club, you got all of the finest clothes, but you ain't got no paper. You know what I'm saying? So that ideology just don't make sense to me. Like we gotta get the fuck up out of that mindset because we better than that. And that's what's gonna keep us down. Like that's why us as the people is not gonna be able to. That's why they ain't gonna listen to the voting and listen to the Black Lives Matter movement because it's about paper, it's about money, and if we don't own nothing, we ain't really got a voice, to be honest. Because the people that own stuff got the money to put behind the presidents. Like, hey, look, I want you to make these little laws for us, but we gonna put $1 million behind you. That's a little more incentive for somebody to make some moves for you. Not just know, oh yeah, we gonna sit out here and protest. Nah, that ain't gonna really work. You know what I'm saying? So back to financial literacy as far as money management and investing, you gotta do those two to come up. Like, cause if you only do what you could do, like if you're a rapper and you just gonna rap, eventually you ain't gonna be able to rap. You ain't gonna be hot no more. You ain't gonna always be able to be a construction worker. You ain't gonna always be able to do that job that's just hard labor all the time. So you're gonna have to invest your money and let your money work for you, whether it be real estate or starting another business or partnering up with somebody to start another business. Whatever way, make sure you make that money work for you. Make sure you invest in it and make sure you are not spending more than what you're making. Making sure you save that money. Put it up and invest it. Don't just only save it, but you gotta save it and then you gotta figure out a way to flip it. I'll see y'all later.